Okay, I'm going to try to make this short. I never do make it short, do I? You can see here the example that the proof of concept example of the corner shelf. You can see here. The measurements here are 8 centimeters and then 5.9-ish, almost 6. Because remember, when I double up the paper, it's not quite a millimeter. So this was the proof of concept, just to see that it would actually work. And you can see the rippling that happened because I only used one piece of paper and then I tried to put something else on top of it and it wasn't very good. These are the next two examples that I got together yesterday. I kind of figured that it's like, for those of you outside the United States, yesterday was Labor Day, so everything's closed and people are supposed to be taking the day off to celebrate unions and labor laws, etc. The things that those laws are written in blood. So you can see here, I did 2 different versions. I made some changes to the outside trim. This is now 5 millimeters. And you can see here I did a drawer. The drawer is just in here. I just haven't put the front on it yet. And then I wanted to see if I could do some little drawers, or a little, and the answer is yes. Yes, I can. However, you can see here, I tried to do a thing that I normally do when I'm making furniture and I'm mocking something up, where I have the paper version, the one single width thickness of paper, and then when I know I'm going to wrap something around and glue it, like you can see these tabs, I put tabs here, I put a tab up here, and you can see I covered it up. I wanted to make sure it was possible to cover it up and do it pretty well. It works. I drew it, cut everything out, left the tabs as a single piece of paper because they fold better and adhere better, knowing that this was just going to be adhered to a wall, and then put a single piece on the inside, a big rectangular piece. And I knew this was going to happen, and you can see the paper kind of bubbled a little bit, and what happens is there is like less than a millimeter needs of paper needs to move, because technically the paper inside is longer now than the paper on the outside, and this little fold here kind of messes up the paper here. So I'm gonna do another version of this because I don't like the two. I wanted to see if I could make it work. It balance wise it works, but it's not exactly what I want. So I'm going to do another version, and I'm going to leave this as a single piece of paper, because what there needs to be is about a millimeter of space here so things don't warp. I'm kind of pleased that they'll close and stay closed pretty well, but you can also see how the middle doesn't meet anymore. And that's because some of the paper has been taken up by the push and the pull of being in different areas. So I consider this a success. I think I want to do this one again and maybe take out that drawer. So it's just 2, and then just put a single here. So then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if that'll work either. I may need to keep a drawer in there. You're wondering why I keep counting in odds. It's because it's more balanced that way. I was also much more careful about how I was cutting these out, and I already know how I would do this in the paper version. There would be tabs at the back that fold down and just adhere here and here. And then in the front, I want something that folds down that looks like a little piece of like lace. That's something that was common that you would see in households. So this is a success. The only thing I really goofed up on this one is I went ahead and for whatever reason gave this measurement across, this 8 millimeters, or 8 centimeters. I gave it an extra 2 millimeters thinking I might need some space. Turns out I do not need it at all. So it's just a smidgen wider than it needs to be. It'll look a little tighter in the upcoming. And you can see it's just it's a little crooked, but then again, this is a mock-up by hand. I think this one was more successful because I did both of these at the same time. I made some minor changes to the drawers, making them slim, like small, medium, large, or thin, medium, thick. And I like this a lot better. This looks like you could actually put plates here, or put something like a big tureen, or books or toys or something there. Again, the same mistake with the extra 2 millimeters, which I wasn't really pleased about. But I added these pieces on the bottom to cover up. There's a tab for the front and tabs for the back side, and that worked really well. And again, no one's gonna see this. So I think this one was very much a success. And this one I will definitely be doing as a piece. Because again, it's like, it looks like it could be in a bedroom, it could be in a weird little closety area, a bathroom maybe. This might be a good bathroom shelf. But then a lot of times you see these kinds of shelves, historical representation of them. They're usually in a parlor or a dining room, the little built-ins, which I think are kind of cute. And I haven't really talked about the fact that, why is it that this is all of a sudden my thing that I'm doing? Why this design particularly, I guess I should say. When I was a child, my grandmother Elizabeth, she made, I remember 2 different versions. One version she made for my sister Chris that was in this slightly smaller, it might have been more like, this is 14.4 centimeters. Hers might have been more like 12 centimeters, 6 inches tall about, and probably much, at least more like 6 to 7. And it was made out of a box. And she had painted it. The one for my sister was blue on the inside and white on the outside. And I remember thinking it was ingenious because she'd used a box from a local department store, Mies department store, and she'd folded some things around because you could see the little tabs from the box. And I remember being just fascinated with that she'd taken that box and turned it into something else. And then when I received my dollhouse that my grandfather Harold made for me, she also made some pieces, including a cigar box bed and another set of shelves like that, but they were bigger, so they were, because the cigar box was really big too. And she made another one specifically for me in some different colors. I want to say it was white with green, but I could be mistaken. And all of those little handmade pieces that my grandmother made, I still have. They're in storage because I have quite a few things that she made by hand that are in storage. I still possess them. So that's the reason why this, if that makes any sense. So it seemed as though this kind of design needed to be within my dollhouse that I am currently working on, and other pieces that I'm working on that are, there's the Marielle dollhouse, and then there's the dollhouse pieces and doll pieces that are more of the oh wow, I'm just shaking all over the place, the fine art gallery stuff, even though nobody really wants to see them. But anyway, that's what I'm working on right now. And for today, Baron and I are going to be out and doing some errands. We both have to get some vaccinations. Yes, vaccinations. Because we believe in science here. I don't know why I'm whispering. Oh, there's the bus. So we're going to be ambling up to get our vaccinations in a little bit. And I think I'm going to go back to some computer work for today, just because it's kind of chill, and do some more thinking about how I want to work on some of these things, because I've got some sketches and there's some other things I've got, me, I've always got like 3 more ideas. My brain. Boon and bane, boon and bane. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, my patrons, for supporting me. I've got some more stuff that I'm working on, and hopefully we'll be doing. We're going to be doing some copies this month, some black and whites. Yay! So thank you for sticking with me, patrons, and I'll see you in the next video.